Okay, back for another week. Jackson Mitchell joining us, coming off the big win over Fresno State. Welcome back.
Yeah, it feels good to do one of these after a win for sure.
I
It's been
I
a little bit.
know. I know. As soon as that game finished, I couldn't wait to get you on this week. And I want to start. I know it's a tough game. You guys had gone out to Fresno State last year. You get shut out. It's a tough loss. They come into the rent this time, and you guys beat them. How good did it feel to get this win?
Yeah, it definitely felt good just after the feeling last year having to go out there and lose, and then we know what that plane ride back is like from all that way. So it's definitely not a feeling that you want, and we were excited to come out here and get this win because this is the win that we thought was going to be able to start up like this little run that we want to go on. So we knew we had to get this one.
One thing that caught my eye, and I know the content team over there with the football team has been fantastic, and they put out that little mini movie about the game, and in it you're giving like the pregame speech to everyone, getting everyone fired up. I'm curious, is that something you do every game, or is that a one-time thing this game?
Usually when we go back into the locker room after warm-ups, we have like about 15, 20 minutes to just sit there. So like if I got anything on my mind, I'll just say it to the team while everyone's kind of sitting there because at that point we're not playing music or anything, so it's kind of quiet. People might have headphones in. We're just alone with their thoughts, and I usually just say what's on my mind because I'm getting fired up for the game.
Yeah, I know it got me fired up sitting at home watching it, so I'm sure it did for everyone else. We've talked a lot about the defense and how you guys have stepped up this year. And I mean, I don't think there's any bigger example of you guys stepping up than what you did against Fresno. How did it feel to see the defense have such an impact in the game? Did it seem like you've just been building on what's been coming game after game, or did something click with you guys this week? What do you think led to such success against Fresno?
Yeah, I think we've just been building on it a lot. Obviously, it wasn't as easy to see in the past three games just because of the opponents we were playing. It was hard to see that, but we were definitely building on it in practice and in games, and we were able to go out there and play to a standard that we hold ourselves to. And obviously, it's not where we want to be. We don't think we're anywhere near where we're gonna be by the end of the season, but it's definitely good to get out there and get turnovers, help the offense flip the field a little bit, put them in good positions and then get stops when we had to.
In terms of one of the stops, I know you had a huge sack there. On that final drive, how did it feel at that point in the game to come up with such a big play there?
Yeah, it was definitely exciting. I looked to the sideline on that third down and got the signal, and I already knew what it was. I was going to be sent on that blitz. So anytime I get a signal for me to be on a blitz, like my mindset is like I got to be the guy that gets the sack. So I was just excited for coach to make that call, and I knew I was going to make the play.
When you look at that game, then they get to fourth and long after that, and they're going to be passing there. Did that ball seem like it hung up in the air for a while as you were waiting on that final play?
Yeah, it definitely did. I had an idea of what they were gonna try to do based on what coverage they were gonna see us in. But I remember just turning back and seeing that ball go across the middle, and I saw like getting his hands for a little bit. I was like, dang, like we're gonna have to get another stop here. It's gonna be first down again. And then I saw it hit the ground, and it was just like a sigh of relief.
Yeah, from hearing the post game stuff, it seemed like Coach Mora, had a feeling that things were going to kind of come together for you guys in that game against Fresno. Was that the mood throughout, the locker room there, that everyone felt like, this was your first chance, after a tough stretch to really come together and show what this team is made of?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's like one of the biggest differences I've seen is, Coach Moore and just the team in general. Like there wasn't anybody in that locker room that didn't believe like that it was going to come together for that game, and that was going to be the turning point and our first win after a long stretch. So it's just like he kind of instilled that confidence in us, and he just kept telling us like, this is it. This is what we're going to see what we're made of. This is where we're going to turn it around. This is where we're going to get that much needed win, and you just saw it come together there at the end.
And then at the end of the game, you could see, I mean, it's been a long haul for UConn football these past handful of years. How was it in that post game celebration there? Because it seemed like everyone really had a minute to just like let loose and really soak in this win and all that you guys have been battling through.
Yeah, it's definitely like a good win after, like you said, like the battles we've been through and all the defeat and all the hard times. Just to get that win, like to kind of like I would say like get the monkey off our back. Like now we know what it's like. Now we know what winning's like. So now we can just play and do what we do and keep building off it. And now like as we get more wins, I think you expect to see a little less dancing because we're gonna get more used to it, in my opinion.
I do like the dancing though.
Yeah.
Who's the best dancer on the team?
I mean, we got a lot of guys that think they can dance, but after the game, everybody gets a chance in there. It was good to see like Taekwon and Cam even in there on crutches. I know
Yeah.
they were having a hard time, but they were happy for the team too.
And the one person I didn't see dancing was Coach Mora. Is he a dancer?
No, he's not really a dancer. He's like I would say he's not satisfied with anything. So I don't think you'll see him dancing until we win a bowl game or something like that.
All right. I think we got to get that going and like put the pressure on him that when this team wins a bowl game, we expect to see him dancing a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw like the quiet fist pump at the end there, at the end of that game when Robert Burns got the first down
First
there.
down,
So
yeah.
he's got a little emotion there at least.
Yeah, definitely. He tries to keep it in a little bit, I think.
So now I feel like the challenge goes from like, there's so much build up to this team kind of getting over the hump and starting to put some wins together. You've got two now. How do you build on this for the rest of the season? Heading into FIU, how do you still play with a bit of a chip on your shoulder and don't let the win necessarily get to your head?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing we tell each other is just like what we did last week isn't enough. And if you think what you did last week is enough, that's like where you're gonna go wrong and you're not gonna win the game or you're not gonna come out with the outcome you want. So you just gotta keep building off the past game. And like we obviously didn't play a perfect game. It was good to win, but it wasn't a perfect game. So you gotta get in the film and see what you did wrong and correct those mistakes so that you can keep building off it. Because after a win, a lot of teams are gonna think, oh, well, they think they're all like high and mighty and
Yeah.
excited after a win, so they're gonna come in and trying to beat us. So we just got to be more locked in than ever.
What have you seen and taken a look at FIU as you prep for this game that stood out to you?
I would say like they're a team in our position. They're trying to fight for wins and that type of thing, and get their season back on straight. But I think like just outside, they have a lot of skill guys. I would say they go to the perimeter a lot. They don't really run it in the middle too much as other teams we've seen. So you'll see like a lot of stuff Fresno did about throwing it to the flat and runs out zone runs outside, split zone, that type of thing. But their running backs are pretty solid. They have two solid running backs. And then I think their best player is number 0, Tyrese Chambers. He's a real good receiver. So hopefully we can just shut him down.
As you look towards this week at FIU, I know you always look for the different storylines here, and the big one this week has been Zion getting to go home and play in front of his home crowd. Does that get the team fired up? Like when you're going to like someone's hometown and you get to play, there's going to be a lot of friends and family there for them. Does it get you guys pumped up to play a little? I mean, as much as you can, up a little bit more for that game.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of Florida guys on the team, so it's exciting for them all to go home. I know obviously they're far from home and we're at school for a lot of time, like all summer and that type of thing. So they might
Yeah.
not have been home in a long time. So it's definitely exciting for them. And just to see Zion, like I felt like this game he really got his confidence. And so for him to have that going into obviously a game at home where all his family's gonna be is exciting because I think he's gonna put on a good performance.
Yeah, I know. I know everyone starts seeing hometown like he's building his confidence. It's time to see him ball out on Saturday.
Yeah, for sure.
I know one other story that's been out there a little bit, and I don't think I necessarily knew about this from your perspective earlier. Is your hand in the screw that you've gotten it? So take
Yeah.
us through that a little bit. How has that felt, and how's it been to play with that this year?
Yeah, so I had injured it back in the spring and I didn't really know what was wrong with it for a little bit. And I ended up going to the doctor and finding out like I had broken a bone in there. So I had to get a surgery in May. And then, I kind of tried to let it heal over the summer. I was wearing a cast, that type of thing. And then come camp, like I had to see the doctor to get cleared and they looked at it and it wasn't really healing the way it was supposed to. Just the blood supply in that specific bone wasn't really good. So I had like a decision to make. I could like get another surgery, try to take the screw out and let it heal by itself. Or I could just cast it up and let it and play with it this season, then try to figure it out after the season. And I talked about it with my family and Coach Moore, that type of thing. And it wasn't like a dangerous threat to play with the
Yeah.
cast. It was just like kind of annoying, I guess you would say. So I just decided to cast it up. So I put on a cast every practice, every workout, and every game. Just play with it. I'm kind of used to it at this point. It's been a while.
Yeah, no, it's when I heard about that, I'm like, I didn't realize what he's been doing week in and week out there.
Yeah.
I know one thing last week you guys went out in the all whites and I saw you're bringing that back. I like it. You like the all whites?
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite uniform. I know Coach Moore is a big uniform guy, so
Yeah.
hopefully we can get some more wins this year, have a successful season, so we can maybe see something different next year. But we'll see.
Yeah, no, I like the all whites. They look nice out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Under the lights Saturday night, I think they look pretty good.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
I'll wrap.
Connecticut to Florida.
Yeah, yeah. I'll wrap with this one because I know we always like to talk a little NFL at the end of these. Giants, another victory. I know it's I feel like with you guys too, they've been going through now with Daniel Jones, or got some movement at quarterback. How are you feeling about them heading into this week?
I mean, I feel good. I know a lot of people want to say we haven't been playing the best opponents and stuff, but 3-1 is 3-1. So
Yeah.
this week, we play the Packers, which is more of a challenge. So if we can come out with this one, I think we've proved a little something to everybody. So I'm excited, and they're playing well. Daniel Jones has definitely impressed me. He's been playing a lot better than he has in the past.
Yeah, and we saw what the Pats were able to hang around with the Packers, so
Yeah,
no reason why you guys can't.
definitely.
Awesome. Well, Jackson, really appreciate you taking some time again to come on. Have a good trip down to Florida, and hopefully we'll have another winning one of these next week.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Awesome.